Alright, we are live with the Formula Micros. We are set for qualifying. And the stream is actually private, so let me make that public real quickly before we set up qualifying completely. We're just about ready. And it should be public, so give me a second. I'm just trying to... There we go. Alright, so we got our 4 entries. Of course, more people are allowed to join. This is literally 1,000 to win, so literally anybody that wants to practice should be good to go. But anyways, that being said, first one out is going to be Jackson Cook. As the car goes up into 6th gear, it's a nearly flat-out racetrack, but it makes a bit of a unique challenge in that it's very much so going to be about building up your speed over the laps. It's a bit of an inertia game, as they call it. Of course, your lap will impact the next one. Jackson making his way through 1 and 2. Almost looked like that was flat out. As Jackson making his way down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Will lift off a tiny bit. Going to stay off that dark gray surface down the front straightaway. Jackson Cook across the line, 20.649. 2 more laps to go for Jackson Cook. A improved Sector 1. As he makes his way down the back straight. Let's see, Sector 2. Sector 2 is not faster this time, but maybe the Sector 1 could carry. Making his way down the front straightaway into the white flag. And it does go faster, 20.598, a purple Sector 1 once again. Jackson Cook, the fastest car in the practice session. Could we be seeing another quick time? That Sector 2 did not carry that time by. He's up to the wall. And it does. The checker flag going to go out for Jackson Cook. 20.563 is the fastest time today so far. As the next up in line, making a return, it's going to be 824BB. Jackson Cook making his way out of 4. And we are green on the racetrack. So best 5 in the 45 meme racing machine out onto the raceway. Again, all these 4 entries are very competitive drivers, a lot of skill. And all of them are very tightly knit and close during the practice session. Best 5 making his way down the front straightaway into 1. And it's a green Sector 1. Looks pretty good. 4.114. Now making his way down into the dark surface. Goes all the way up high. I don't know if that was intentional or not. His first lap is 20.897, so that's a couple tenths off there. That exit off of 4 could have affected him. And it's a white Sector 1, so no improvement this time, but he could carry a green Sector 2, and he does. To carry piece into the white flag. 20.597 within a few hundredths from Jackson Cook. Best 5 we've seen him in the past. He's a very competitive driver, right up there on pace. They can string together one good last lap. The checkered flag is going to come out. Does he go quicker? Does not. Alright, well, next up in order is Dabcat in the 054. We'll be watching Best 5 make his way around the track. He's going to go ass backwards nearly. But locked up the brakes, but he'll keep on going. Green flag's out for Jackson. I mean, for Dabcat. For pole sitter with a 20.563, you can see the top 2 times very competitive. Dabcat was also up there in the midst. Maybe he could check things up here. Dabcat is a controller user, and that so far has proven to be an inherent advantage here, at least in the midgets. The first sector is looking pretty hot, 4.111. Now down the back straightaway into turn 3. We'll build up speed potentially for the next lap, but let's see what lap 1 looks like. 20.795, so he's going to build speed into 1. It's all the way down to the dark surface, and that is about the fastest I've seen a Sector 1. It is green. I think there might have been a purple that Jackson set, but this is a very hot time building up here. Dabcat coming to the white flag. Does not improve that time. Very consistently close to his last one. He's going to have to change something up if he wants to move up position. Now, out of 3 and 4 for the final time, Dabcat going to go all the way down to the gray. The checker goes out for Dabcat, and he only gets 20.716. Maybe going down into the dark surface might not have helped as much as he was hoping it for. But that will be that for Dabcat. One more car up in the field is going to be Nikolau's, and we'll have a short intermission. Dabcat pulls it in. The green flag's out for Nico. Alright, so Nico is out on the track. And he's taking over East 951's machine for the day in the 951. Typically associated with the 95, he'll add an extra 1 to that. Nico into turn 1 for his first lap. He's carrying a lot of speed. It's a 4.246 sector 1. Again, an out lap, so it's all about building up speed. This is really his first lap, but again, on a track like this, it's just about building up your speed. We saw that happen with Jackson Cook. Nikolau's making his way across the line, and lap 1 is a 20.731, just behind Dabcat. 40.099 sector 1 for Nikolau's could build up to change things around as he finishes lap 2. Sector 2 looking pretty hot. Now making his way off of 4. The white flag is going to go out for Nikolaus, and he makes his way across the line. Second on the board, 20.90. One last chance for the 951 to make their way around the course to potentially take that pole from Jackson Cook. He is so far set for a front row start, but here comes Nico out of 3 and 4. Sector 1 looks good, so does 2. Neither are green, but if he nailed it on the last one, she does not, so the checker is out for Nico. I'm going to put a 3-minute timer, which may be good enough for a short break or something. Give us an opportunity for anyone else to join. As there's Jake currently getting a feel of his Lexus. He'll be our pace car driver for the day. Alright, I am back. You can see about a 6-second difference there between Jake and the rest of the field. Can we please stay off the track, whoever is trying to drive around? Stab on the infield. Okay. Alright, we are about a minute out for anyone else to join, then we'll be clearing the rest of the field. And while we may not have a big field, I love to say this saying a lot. You do not need a big field to make a big race. We saw this at Billboard before in the past. When Shuffle got his first victory, there was 3 or 4 cars completely battling out throughout the race to come to a climactic finish. And all 4 of these drivers very close to each other in times. We saw Dab actually get right up there, up in the 20.5s, I believe, also during the practice. So he very much took a get up to pace. He's just had a bit of a rough qualifying, but he'll definitely make it up. So, the rest of the field within a tenth of each other, actually half a tenth. As Jake, once you finish this, we'll get everyone else to get on up. All right. All right, Jake, if you can line up in the front of the field. Track. If you guys could start lining up in the following order, is going to be Jackson, Cook, and Cole. 2's outside, and row 1 is going to be Nico. 824BB on the second row on the inside, and Dabcat in 4th. Today's pace car driver is going to be T7 Jake, but we are going to now start clearing out the rest of the cars. It's a bit too late at this point to start qualifying. Got a little bit over 10 minutes until Rotsmont should be doing their event, but of course I will give us till 8:15 as a curfew, which I believe we will very much so get within that time. So 4 great drivers here. I don't think anyone's going to have any issues. Might be a caution-free event today, I'm assuming. So 30 laps here. We're going to be doing 3 pace laps. So, there's the choose lane, but I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with that. We're only going to need to worry about that once there's a caution, which again, with the caliber drivers here, I do not believe that's going to happen. Everyone please get out. We're going to be doing an AFK check. We'll be doing the anthem later with the ROTS mods. I think we're just going to get straight into today's feature with the micros. Alright, once you're ready to get into your car, it's going to be a 30-lap race with 3 pace laps. So Nico is still out of his car. Alright, pace speed will be 80 miles an hour on the inside, and with Nico, or with Jake, just try to maintain yourselves on the turns. So we're going to wait here on Nico. Once he's into his car, we'll start our pacing. If you are also suddenly need to change and have to stop, then get out of your car so we don't get to an awkward moment. Needs just to get a thumbnail. Alright. Nico's in his car, so again, last call to get out. But I think we're good to go yellow. So let's get up to speed here, folks, and we'll read out your order from the back to the front. We kind of already went through that, but we're just going to make sure that everyone is up there. In the back of row 2 is going to be the 054, the 054, driven by Dabcat up from Maine. Monster Main Man, and to the inside in the Meme Racing 45, it is 84BB, best 5s. Our Trinity Man in the 951 is Nico Outs, up in the front row on the outside. Of course, the longest career in SLC that you see in the field. And your inside, your pole sitter is going to be Jackson Cook, one of the most, I'd say, groundbreaking and absolutely upset of a driver this season. He has gone from virtually a nobody as of last year to one of the most dominant drivers this season, and he is supposed to win a few championships. That being said, the black lights are gonna take over the yellow ones, and next time behind Jake, you'll just be pulling it in. Nico, if you can move it up. Remember, no passing until we cross the start-finish line. Each 4BB, you just slightly, you're fine where you are. All right, Jake, start picking up your pace. These guys, I just need you to maintain your rows, and we'll go green in just a bit. Nico, Alex, if you can move up. Good where you are. Green flag. And it's pretty much equal between Nico and Jackson. It's a clean start. And we make our way into 1-4 cars tagging along. Jackson Cook to third place, falling back. Your pole sitter now in fourth place. Nico Alex to the front of the field. Dabcat right there in second place, side by side with H4BB. H4BB going to run the outside. Dabcat down the inside. Nico Alex is going to lead your first lap. They go 3 wide, 4 cars into 1. As I said, folks, you don't need a big field to make a big race. Nico Alex currently going to get away with the lead, but he is being tailed oh so closely behind. Here comes 84BB down the inside as well as Dabcat. Dabcat making the move off of 4. Nico Alex up there in the lead, but they go 3 wide, nearly 4 wide into 1. 84BB looking at the inside, but here comes Dabcat with a rush and a run up to the front. 84BB down the inside of Nico Alex, but they're still going to have to settle up there in second place. Dabcat currently running it down into turn 1. They go 4 wide. Nico Alex still leading us off, though. He's got the cleanest exits out of these drivers, but Dabcat has been pushing good. But here comes Jackson Cook down the inside, pushing to the lead. He's side by side with Nico Alex. Nico Alex still going to maintain his front position. 84BB now switching it over, and it is an absolute calamity in the field. We said we don't need a big field to make a big race. Every single one of those drivers in the field making it go 3 wide into 4 wide into turn number 3. Jackson Cook making it a crossover move with Nico Alex, and he'll snag that lead position, but Nico right behind him. Now into 1 and 2. Jackson Cook a little bit to the outside. Dabcat with a good push ahead of Nico. Dabcat moves up to the second place spot, but meanwhile Nico side by side with 84BB. Dabcat hunting down the front with Jackson Cook in the 97 Freedom Racing Machine. They go 3 wide into 1 for that second place spot, but Dabcat's going to fall a little bit short, but he's going to gain it up on the exit. They go 3 wide for the second place spot, hunting down your leader. Nico Alex absorbs second place, but Dabcat's right behind him. Side by side, Dabcat looking to push up a little bit ahead. Here comes a boost with the Meme Racing 45. Jackson around the outside, and he'll make the pass for the lead. Nico Alex was there, but he had a bit of a rough exit, but he's still up there in the midst. To go 3 wide into 3 and 4. Jackson Cook now solidifying a bit of a lead, but they're hunting down behind him. I think there might be a draft that is indeed very much so a factor here today. They seem to be getting a lot on the leader, but they just can't get them on the turns. Nico Alex down to the inside of Jackson Cook, but Jackson Cook is going to get a better looking exit. Here comes Dabcat absorbing the second place position, hunting down the leader down the front straightaway into turn 1. 84BB down the inside of Dabcat. Nico Alex right there in the midst. But Jackson Cook, meanwhile, still setting his lead. 84BB going to fall back into fourth, but he is rushing through 3 wide into 3. And it looks like Jackson Cook is just ever so slightly starting to gain about 2-3 car lengths over the rest of the field. But it's not. It's going to close in very close into 1 and 2. That 3-car battle for second place, just absolutely maddening. Jackson Cook has Dabcat and Nico Odds and 84BB going after him like a hungry pack of wolves. And you see a bit of a loose foot from Jackson Cook. Maybe Dabcat might be able to capitalize on this. Here goes Best Vibe down the inside. Dabcat closing into your leader, the 97, but he hits the wall ever so slightly. Here comes Best Vibe down the inside into the dark surface. He's going to climb back up high. Dabcat right behind him. He is yet to have ever won an SLC race, but this is his best performance we've ever seen. He's been up there throughout the last few weekends. He's been building up a lot of strength this year. And here he goes, closing in on Jackson Cook side by side into 3 and 4. He'll get a slight advantage on the exit with Jackson Cook, but he is right behind him. And now within draft battling range, he might be able to get out of it by the time he's in turn 1. Dabcat and Jackson Cook closing in onto each other. These two have been up and coming towards a rivalry as of lately, as at least his on-track positions have gone. We've seen that in past classes. Dabcat bested Jackson in yesterday's midget feature. We close into the halfway point. 84BB closing in a little bit here on Dabcat. And Nico might just have fallen a little short of the draft range. We'll see if he can close in towards the closing lap. So Dabcat goes all the way up to the wall. A very rough exit for the 54. He's been complaining about having stick drift issues. That might have been an incident of that sort of proportion. 84BB is going to claim that second place spot. And boy, have we seen a rivalry between these two when they're on track with each other. It's just a matter of closing it down. We've already gone past the halfway point. We are now 14 laps to go. Dabcat and 84BB battling with everything that they've got to close it down on your leader in the 97. Dabcat making a move down the inside as a crossover with 84BB. They still go side by side, 84BB down the inside, but a crossover with Dabcat. And Dabcat is going to slightly peak ever so slightly, about a car ahead. 84BB dips down the dark surface. Dabcat's been avoiding it like the plague ever since his qualifying mess up. BB and Dabcat now at a heavy and tight and aggressive battle here, trying to close in to the leader of Jackson Cook, but it almost looks like Jackson might have started to lock things in. 84BB, meanwhile, has set the top time at 20.399, and maybe that pace could continue. They might also have the chance that Dabcat and 84BB work with each other. That could easily help them close in the gap with your leader. Of course, the field as it is starting to spread out a little bit, but there is still the battle going on for second place. Dabcat with the draft into 1. He'll peak ever slightly ahead. You generally want to get away from the draft. Once you're at the turns, there's a bit of turbulent, dirty air that becomes a factor. I'm very glad to see that the draft actually has worked today to make the racing as exciting as it was throughout the beginning.
Nico, are you pulling in? Are you done? He is pulling back out.
I don't know if we should call that or something or not. Nico at least keen on getting this race done. Of course, if we have a caution, he'll end up getting his lap back, but he does fall down to Jackson Cook. Of course, with how insane this racing is, if there is a caution and he gets that lap back, he's definitely going to become a factor once again in the absolute battle. He might also, meanwhile, rejoin, and that could help 84BB and Dabcat close in the gap on your leader. BB and Dabcat making another crossover out of 4. As Nico's trying to just race it out with Jackson Cook, potentially to not have to deal with unlapping himself, if that becomes the case. It's about where you want to be if you are a lap car. as we have fallen to the last 5 laps, so if we do end up into caution, that might lead to an overtime. Dabcat runs all the way up to the wall, and 824BB is going to slide by. Now 4 laps to go. Dabcat and Best 5 have kind of spread it out here. This race looks so far that it might about finish where it is. I don't know if it's impossible for Dab to close down that gap, but it's going to be quite an achievement with this much laps left. We're going to close down to 3 to go. Of course, nobody wants to be that guy that spins. Of course, if Nico stays ahead of Nico and one of the guys behind him spins, that will technically allow him to be in front of them. That might be something Nico might have been trying to do. As it stands, 2 laps to go though. And our podium is pretty much locked as it is. This is the last opportunity for anything to really go wrong, but here comes Jackson Cook down the front straightaway to see the white flag. And that is how the race is set to finish here. It is closing down between Dabcat and 824BB. We'll be watching that. Meanwhile, Jackson Cook is leading with a marginal gap, which we did not see when they were having the insane drop out earlier on. And out on the front straight, Jackson Cook will win it. 824BB is going to come in second place. Dabcat in third. Nico Alves in fourth. But Jackson Cook is going to be the one to take home 1,000 Robux. And he'll be doing a backwards lap for a second. He turns it around. Let's see what Jackson Cook does for victory procedures. If you guys want to pull into the pit lane. Looks like Jackson Cook is supposed to do a backwards lap. And he does a drift down the front straight. Jackson Cook doing the bullish victory lap. 824BB will be taking home the top time. Dabcat, of course, finishing on the podium. Nico having a solid finish. But Jackson Cook here gets to take home a sweet 1,000 Robux gift card. And did that show that this racing can, in fact, be absolutely amazing. This has to be the right situation, and this is definitely by far one of the best tracks for that. Let's get you to victory lane, Jackson. And stick around, we'll get interviews with everyone. We're going to just get this victory lane photo real quickly, and then if you want, you can take the busy water. Sparkling water there. Get this victory lane photo. Alright, Jackson Cook, congratulations on that win. Had a bit of a rough start, but got it back through the drafting. By far, probably some of the most insane racing we've seen this season in the micros. If you could bring me through what happened today for you.
Fast. It was fun. It was definitely a fun race. That was a lot more action-packed than I expected it would be with 4 cars. But this place is insane. It's redemption for last night, because I kind of sucked in the midget class, which that's not really something that I usually do. But yeah. I just found my groove in these cars. I think it just depends on the class that I run at a big track. That is what decides my performance. I don't know. It was a fun race. My arms hurt and my hands hurt because these things you have to freaking wheel them, and it hurt. It hurts a lot. But now I have to suffer quite a lot of that in the Rocks mods, and that's not gonna be fun.
That'll be a race that's twice the distance plus 9 laps to make it 69 for the DC 69. Uh,
69.
so I wish you the best of luck in that race. Is there anything else up on your mind before we move on to that?
1,000 Robux, hooray! And
All
a
right.
cheese.
Yes. I'll send you your trophy and that as soon as I got everything in practice set up. So,
You
uh,
still have quite a few trophies to send me.
last week's trophy.
Yeah, and I think the week before as well.
All right.
You got a few.
All right. I'll try to get it as soon as I can. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on?
GG. It was hard fought battle, but it was good.
All right. Well, thank you there, Jackson Cook, and we're gonna move on to our third place driver. Best Five is off again. So, Dabcat here coming home with a podium. A very, very intense race today. We saw how the drafting actually, for once, became a genuine factor. I don't know how much you noticed that. I was worried it wasn't going to work, but it did work today. How are things for you, Dab?
Oh man. Um, Kind of a mix of everything for emotions. Because on one hand, I'm extremely stoked that we had such a clean and good race in the beginning. But on the other hand, I'm disappointed that I couldn't keep it together and keep a P1. And, excited for more racing. Disappointed that I still don't have my podium yet. Or not my podium, my pole yet. So it's like all over the place. But no, I did have a couple of issues, not with controller, just it felt like the car didn't want to rotate completely in those last couple of sections where the car went super, super wide into the turn. It didn't feel like the car wanted to keep its rotation for some reason, and it was a very big bummer because I would have been able to keep it fairly consistent with 824 BB at the minimum, and had a P2 battle all the way to the end if it wasn't for that. But P3 is still good, even though, again, I do think I could have done a lot better. And I am extremely stoked that we had Nico and everybody battling so hard in that beginning. I believe 10 laps, so it's just really hectic. I do agree that the draft made a good difference, and I'm actually hoping that maybe we can get some more performance out of Donovan's or Dab's lines, and maybe come back for a P1 eventually. So, Milwaukee was fun. I think that the Rocks mods are either going to be a hit or miss for me. I think I'm going to run some laps, but not a lot, and see how the cars handle. And if they handle good, I'll run Rocks. So that's something to look towards, is me running Rocks mod. And other than that, Micro should stay unless we don't get any more people again for some reason.
All right. Well, that was an awesome interview, Dabcat, and congrats on at least getting to a podium. And we finally got a national race in, so that was fun.
Yes.
It was a fun race. So, we're gonna move on
It's
now.
weird.
To,
It's weird that Micro doesn't. I was going to say it's weird that Micro doesn't get more.
I mean, it
Like,
certainly shows you don't need a big field to make a fun race. So, we're gonna now get a word from Nikolauds.
No.
Hi. That race is going really solid for you, especially in the first half. Things kind of switched up towards the second half. You'd like to talk about what went on today for you, Nico?
Well, I was doing this one. I was happy. And then I wasn't. Because my mouse fucking died.
Your mouse? Oh my god.
Yeah, I have a wireless mouse. During the race, coming out of.
Did you say that your mouse died?
No, I didn't. I just continued.
If you did, I probably would have called a caution for that. But
well, right. Too late to whatever happened. Yeah, mouse kind of died. And I was using mouse stairs, so that didn't help. So I just slapped my mouse onto my desk. It for some reason turned back on, and then I just continued. So it's the usual shit. Well, yeah,
Everything in your house has been casually
you win
possessed.
some, you lose some. Oh well.
Well, Nico, I wish you the best of luck in the future. I don't know if you're running tonight or not in the ROTS mods, but if you are, that'd be cool. If not, thank you for turning up today.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna work on to ROTS mod practice. Also, a big thanks to Jake for being our pace car at the start of the race. I don't think you weren't really needed yesterday. You're very helpful to help set the pace today. I think in the ROTS mods that might become something you might be needed in. So we'll see what happens there. All right. Thank you guys for watching as we currently are setting up the ROTS mods practice. Currently have Jackson and Dabcat, so be sure to watch that at the end of the hour. And that will be it for the micros. We'll be back potentially next week. Also, the Super Indies are posed to race tomorrow for a $20 trophy. That should be it.